Hello, this is easy. This is a sneak peek of the ZCron UV Resin Slicer. This is for UV resin printers, okay? This is just a sneak peek, and I'll have something later that you can download this plugin, but it might be a while because I'm having little problems on certain things. As you're aware of, this is a Eiffel Tower here. A lot of people are using UV resin printers to do this and print them out. This looks really good when it's printed. So what's going to be different about doing this in ZBrush rather than doing this in another slicer? Well, to tell you the truth, if you want ultra high detail, you have to get ultra high detail in the slicer. I mean, that's quite obvious. If you want good quality, you got to get the high quality object in there, and so you can get high images that come out when it slices it. You'll see like other programs that do slicing, and which they can do this Eiffel Tower. It does a pretty good job of it, but you know, a lot of other objects, you know, little miniatures and stuff like that, they usually have to decimate that a little bit just to get it into the other slicer program so it doesn't bog it down. And when you do that, you lose the quality. With ZBrush, I can pretty much subdivide this tower over, I don't know, 6 or 7 million polygons, and I can slice it in ZBrush. If I take this same Eiffel Tower at that many polygons and put another slicer program, I haven't found too many of them, but it pretty much locks them up and freezes them. Pretty much you can't slice it. So let's go ahead and go with the step here, and I'll kind of go over this. I loaded up these little buttons down here. This is kind of part of the script. You'll see some icons up here. That has nothing to do with it. Okay, this is something that was loaded on my UI, and I just didn't take it off. So with that said, what I want to do is bottom one is going to be the one I'm going to be focusing on here. Sometimes you got to double click to get this right. This is where I'm going to do all my calibration. When I loaded this file up, I went to File, Open, and it saves all my settings when I saved it. So it saved this little settings right here. So when I press on the live boolean, I want to get my base of my first layer, what it's going to be. This is a calibrate here, so for some reason that I didn't have nothing on the screen, I would calibrate it for my first layer to have something on it at least. So when I get there, that's going to be where I'm at. This is going to be my first layer. For this instance, I'm not recommending to do this, but I'm going to scale this down because this will bog down my screen recorder. So when I have it like that and I scale it down, then I go up here to zoom to bring it back up, we'll get something like this. All right, to give it a little bit more lenient on my screen recorder and not freeze it up. Okay, without the screen recorder, it works perfectly. All right, so we'll press here and wait a few seconds. As you can see, it speeded it up, and it did kind of freeze up a little bit there. And we'll press it again to finish. And froze up a little bit there. So if I go to File and press Open, I kind of scaled that quite a bit there, so let's try this here. Front. Turn off the live boolean so we can kind of see what we're doing here. Press front again. Then we like this. This is a basic material, but when I press the micron, it will switch over to flat. This is what we want up here, black and white image. That way these images can be put in another zip file or rare files that you can put into your resin printer, and then you can print it out. All right. So let's try that again. I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom here. It's already calibrated, so on my first layer, so I won't scale it so much. We'll just do it right there. We'll do the zoom here. All right, like I said, I'm not recommending to do that, is because you will, the image is real small actually, and you'll lose a lot of quality. I'm just doing this just for the video's sake here. All right, that's working a little lot better there, so you can see it. All right. and I'll show you kind of how this works. All right, it got part way through there, so I'll have to press this again. This is part of I'm trying to work on the script to finish this up, so I can go all the way from start to finish without having to re-click this button. All right, one more time. We'll do it all the way till we just appear black image in the background. Then you'll know it's finished. Finished. Alright, I'll show you how this kind of works. It's got this image plane down here, and it's going to move all the way up this tower, and it slices it. It slices it and gives an illusion of one slice because I'm using the Boolean operation. Alright, I'll tip it to the side here a little bit so you can kind of see, and maybe turn on the flat here. Alright. As you can see here, we're using a Boolean operation with this option here, and we'll go to deformation, and it's using a Y offset, so when I move this you can kind of see how that's working. Alright, let's go ahead and switch this to the because it's working off the bottom view, so when I use the offset to the negative here, it's actually going up the tower, and this is what's creating the slices. Turn this different material so we can kind of see here. As you can see right there is the tower, and this is where it stopped the slice at. Alright, I loaded up this cone here. I'll switch over to basic material here. This one here, the one I'm on right now, this was done with set thickness. Alright, this will make it hollow. So if you want to see how that works, is we'll press on move. We're going to move the image plane up and down so we can kind of see what it's doing. So we'll turn on Boolean. Well, actually, I'll just tip it a little here. You can see right there how that's working. And if it's hard to see with the gizmo in the way, I'll just come over here, go to the bottom, and the way the script is running, we'll just do it this way with deformation, and it's using the offset to the negative, and this is how this works. Now it's going to probably be a little different. Let me Control Z that because I did not press, let's see, the Y. It needs to be in the Y position. So you can see right here. Let's switch this back to the bottom and try that again. Alright, here we go. So the offset's in the Y, and we're going to the negative. Alright, that's how that works. Now this is, we'll use less UV resin. Because you're just doing the outline. Alright, it'll be hollow. If it's a miniature, you probably don't want to use this because it'll make the model pretty weak and flimsy and probably break. That's just a little demonstration of the hollow, just in case you wanted to use it. If we turn off the hollow and use this one here that we didn't hollow, this will be printed. This will be printed as a solid. So if we bring this here, formation and do the offset, you can see it like that. So it's doing it in increments real small, and it's taking snapshot pictures of it, and they will be exported as PSDs. So if you want to see that on the tower, we'll take a look at that real quick. I can do this by hand instead of clicking a button, probably won't freeze up. So let's do this again. So we'll do this one here. Boolean, and sometimes if things get out of whack, you can press the zoom to fit, and this will make everything visible for you. So with that said, if you want to mess with it, like I said, the script's not going to be ready to download right now. This will have to be in the Y, and we'll go to the bottom, boolean, and then we'll go to the offset. And I'll do it real slow, and you can kind of see how that's working. Let go, do that again. Then if we just tip this a little bit, you can kind of see where the plane's at. All right. So I'll get that to fit on there a little bit better. And we'll boolean back on. Get it like that. We can also move it with a gizmo. When I'm doing miniature prints for small objects, and I want to see some of the detail, the eye sometimes just quite not sees every detail very well. But usually, if you see it and it looks good, then I consider that good. But if you want to get picky, you can actually pick up one of these dental oral cameras. They're 6 megapixels. I'm not even promoting none of these, but you can get them low as 25 bucks, and they got a little button on these little things here that turns the light on. All you do is put your object, let's say, on a clear white piece of paper, so it has a good background to it, and just click the button. You can do videos, you can do snapshot pics of it, and I'm telling you, this thing will pick out any flaw at all on your models. Actually, if you like stick it on your arm and do a video or a snapshot pic, the hairs are so big it looks like when you're watching a video, it looks like it's going through a forest. I mean, it really magnifies it because it looks like the hairs are like tree stumps. I mean, it's, if you really want to get picky, pick one of these up. You get them for like 25 bucks. They got some ones that are more expensive, but hey, I'm really happy with these little 6 megapixel. They seem to do a job pretty good for that price.